You're looking for continuation, Kerwin, for
This
longs
meeting
or?
is being recorded.
In total honesty, I'm looking for pullbacks. Pullbacks,
Okay.
you know, to be a kind of uh, you know, really picky at this point. I would love to see price leaving this area right here, basically. Why? This is my first structure. I know that is dealing with a heavy bullish move from the daily. So buys, you know, the easiest buys will be on top of the 4-hour candle coming from London session, basically. If we pull up the 4-hour candle coming from London, it's roughly this area overall. But you know, this area is the one that needs to give you, you know, a plain and simple continuation. Starting with the weekly, how the weekly candle is looking. That weekly, that made complete sense going back to the 1900s. You know, 1900 is the area that this is basically the not the opening for the weekly, but previous Friday, on Friday, Friday here. After that beautiful rally, that we had on Friday, all this area right here started to get corrected with the new monthly. But this was a move from Friday. Friday morning is New York session, and then started reject all the way up to this area right here. And then 1900 started to act as a contention. Remember, I was selling the first day of the month. I was selling from this area right here. Why? Because I know that the 1900 can give me enough confirmation for that continuation. Usually when a Friday candle, you know, close a strong bearish or a strong bullish, you know, the Monday is in session, basically market opening is just the carryover for those orders. You know, over the weekend and start accumulating even more. So the accumulation is released over the days in session on Sunday afternoon, my time, right? So what I had at that point was a daily candle with a long rejection from the upside. At that point, this candle right here, I knew the key level would need to hold pretty strong at that point will be the 1900s. So at market opening, what I did was I placed an order 1899.50, wherever the order got activated a little bit higher than expected. You know, that was just plain and simple bonus, like three pips, you know, in kind of a slippage, I will say. Maybe the spread opened wide at that point, and that's why the order got activated higher than what price action was telling me in the platform. So that daily rejecting like this, if you go back to the weekly outlook, I was telling you guys, you know, pay attention with this daily candle. Massive, most of a pullback can happen toward this area, no more than that. But this week, this daily candle is giving me rejection. So I know that the moment price is not respecting that low can give me options to this area. It was an easy ride at that point. But 1900s can easily act as a heavy contention area. Really nice and easy to spot. Something that I would love to see if this was a plain and simple pullback before the continuation, right? If this was a plain and simple pullback before the continuation, it's you know, it basically, I need a second 4-hour candle closing bearish below this area, basically the current 4-hour, basically. If this is a valid retest, so if FAD you hold in that position, if that candle for any reason gives you a bearish close, something like this, for example, that will be cake for you, because this area right here, we're not supposed to come back to this area anymore. The moment that 4-hour candle close below this candle right here, the London volume, this is just giving you the confirmation that resistance has been established. And since then, you all you're gonna have it's a lot of fun to the downside. It can be dangerous, obviously, because that FOMC meeting volume, it may have some sort of carryover today with New York session. So, but as if price doesn't give you a break above the 4-hour candle, which is the confirmation that we have right now as a resistant candle, we don't have any business trading, at least to this area overall. You know, if it's breaking above that 4-hour late in the session, NYSE may be giving you a 15-minute, a 30-minute candle closing above that 4-hour candle coming from London, which is the resistant candle. then we don't have any more than you know, just range. But if that 30-minute candle is taking a breather outside this area, you can have something like this, for example, for the 10 a.m. candle. And at that point, this is when all the time frames needs to get aligned, and the timing must be perfect to take that trade. Because if at that point, let me pull up the 30 minutes here so you can see. If at that point a 30-minute candle take a breather here, and a NYSE is coming in play, is coming really soon after that 30-minute candle gives you something like this, you know, something like this. NYSE, what it'll tend to do is retest that previous resistance area, the 4-hour candle, and NYSE can give you something like this, for example. If at that point a hourly candle is taking a beautiful move from these areas overall, you know that the 10 a.m. candle will give you 20 pips no matter what. At that point, if at the 10 a.m. candle, we can wait until 9:30 until the 4-hour candle decide if it's gonna close bearish or if it's gonna close like a support candle, and then call that 4-hour candle from London just plain and simple range before the continuation. And if this candle is respecting the London candle low, for example, the current 4-hour gives you that specific move, then most likely we have kind of an easy job looking for the break above the high of the 4-hour candle, a small pullback, whatever, and that 4-hour candle can take a breather outside this area, sending price all the way up to the 1910s or even higher than the 1910s. In this area, we need to be really careful, you know, trading to the upside, because at this point, we already have that 4-hour candle from London. Now, if we have to trust that 4-hour candle as a possible resistance based on what we have here from previous daily candles, here, we need to be really careful. For example, what are the options on that daily? No top, no bottom wick. That daily, can this daily make his work all the way up to this previous rejection area toward the 1920? Or this daily candle can easily just retest this area and reject, you know, and give you some form of fake outs and continue ranging here for a couple more, waiting for tomorrow. Remember that tomorrow is really important for us. Tomorrow we have NFP. So NFP, in my opinion, NFP is the one who's gonna tell the story here. If this was basically plain and simple pullback on the monthly before the continuation, or this is just a monthly pulling liquidity from those lows and sending price outside this 1920. But NFP is the one that can give you that specific break, a break above the 20. Other than that, remember, this area right here was a pretty strong zone, pretty strong support. So now we can easily have these areas a strong resistance again. So we need to be really careful the way we trade today, because obviously we want to see that continuation from FOMC yesterday. But in total honesty, that heavy volume already push up. That heavy volume already hit the 1900s, and trading at the 1900s toward the 1910, you know, can be easy with confirmations. Without confirmations can be painful, because this area can easily give you plenty of fake outs. And the way the 4-hour candle from a London session close is no jokes. This is a substantial resistant candle. If price doesn't give you a break above that specific candle right there, you don't have, you know, you don't have any business looking at least toward this area or somewhere here, right? But if you do have a candle closing outside that area, and if we have a form of liquidity from the downside, the moment the next candle is breaking that high, go from there, because that trade will pay no matter what, based on the liquidity that candle may have. But other than that, we need to be really careful, because this candle right here have substantial information, that bearish candle right there. Not having a candle breaking that high on the London volume, the London resistance, we don't have this specific move or this specific move to the 20. Price goes to the 20, call it a day. You know, don't think that 20 will give you many options there, because at that point, you know, in the 20 is where the fake out, the heaviest fake out may happen, from the 20 and going back to retest these areas overall.
What's the Karen? Sorry, what's the bearish scenario? You said bullish. Okay, is on top of the daily high 1901, 1902 ish.
Yeah,
But what's the bearish scenario here? It has to break the low, which is the London low 1890. It has to close under 1890 for sales.
it has to close. Yeah, under this specific there. Give me 1 second. It needs for you to have that idea that the continuation to the downside on the monthly is still there, and if NFP can do the job to retest these highs again, you need today, right now, New York session, give you a close below this area and obviously a break below this low. If not, if this candle close like that, it's just plain and simple support, like the same candle that is in this area right here, and this low later will need to be respected for NYSE, and NYSE, like going back to retest this area, failing to break below this candle right here, then it will give you the idea that is going to retest that daily high, basically. The daily high is over here. So you need to be really careful the way you hold positions at this point. That I will love, in total honesty, I would love to see this 4-hour candle closing the way it is, right there. So I can tell that this candle right here to the downside, deep retest in here will be like 40 pips or so. But if that candle doesn't close like that, instead of having that bullish close is closing below this area, then will make it really hard on me to consider any trade, because I will need to wait until a form of pullback to a certain key level, to a previous sector before the continuation. So the main areas to look for sells for me will be below these previous rejections on the lower time frames. You know, if you pull up the lower time frames here, this area right here can be considered the area that you may look for some sort of sells. Like I said, this 4-hour candle from London is looking heavy bearish, is looking as a substantial information for that confirmation that the resistance has been established. But until that, the current 4-hour candle close, I don't have any, any business trading to the downside, because I know that can give me a drop toward this area right here, but based on risk reward, is not worth it for me. Counter trending, something that is looking a strong bullish from a previous daily candle and the current daily candle. I don't have any business thinking or trying to be a hero, thinking this candle right here will give me enough move at least toward this area right here to make it worth it, like looking for 100 pips to the downside so I can easily collect, let's say, 50, 60 out of that move. No, I know this area is plenty of rejections right here. So I need price action leaving that specific 4-hour candle low, because if not, like for example, for you, that you're in that trade right now still, right? So if price
No,
is going to retest this area, I will say secure most of your position, because this is just a plain and simple bonus for you trying to counter trend a bullish candle. At that point, you know that you have previous rejections from these areas right here. It's a strong zone. The moment price closed above this area, now you need these previous areas of rejection acting as your contention area. So the only way that I can look for sells today will be below previous rejections areas, like for example below this area right here, clearing this specific area. Or maybe if I if I want to be like kind of a cowboy today, I can easily sell the second structure here. For example, the second structure roughly here, this one right here. This structure, is the previous opening for the daily, basically. So at the moment, price already created a daily low. Selling from here, I know that my options are limited to this low to the daily low right here. So in this area, I will need to consider something like this, for example, having a stop loss there. If I have, for example, if I have a candle closing below that area, I'll need to use something like this, for example, so you can have an idea why in this area, because the moment price is breaking and closing below this area, needs to go at least to this area overall, and then price being trapped below these previous rejections. Like, for example, a pullback, max pullback can be this one right here. Obviously, I will have like a key level here, like the 95 area as my contention. But unless I see something leaving this area, I'm not interested. And the risk reward is not there. You can tell that the risk reward is not there. It's counter trending a daily candle. The only reason that you may try doing something like that, if you don't have any more moves to the upside, whatever, all you're looking is for a downside. Yeah, I know that move can easily be corrected. You'd be surprised if that daily candle, the current daily candle break this low right here and come back to this area and easily go back to the 1880. Remember that the main key level we have here, which was a previous structure area, was the 1882 to the upside. And this area right here is previous rejection. So having a trade going from this specific area or from this specific area to the daily low, and price is not respecting the daily low, you have 20 more pips to the downside from that daily low somewhere there. So it's roughly like the 887 area, like the 1887. And from there, you can easily, just hold that position. But at this point, I think, this candle for the continuation of the move, I rather look for buys than looking for sells, because sells can be painful. The buys, the moment that candle close bullish or any candle is giving you a close above the key level, then will be worth the shot. You decide what is the main target that you have for the daily. I do think that the daily can easily go to the 1910 today. So if price is giving me that push above the 1900s and breaking that high of the 4-hour candle from London volume, then I know that it can give me that specific move to the 1910. That will be the main idea for today, looking for the carryover for the FOMC.
So what I'm seeing, Kerwin, is for the longs, like if you go on the 30-minute and you kind of draw like I know we don't like trend lines, but if you draw a trend line from all the lower highs that we broke yesterday. So if you go on 30 minutes far from the left all the way, and then you take that top candle, but then the other one higher. Yeah, just draw a trend line from these kind of lower highs. And we broke it yesterday with FOMC. So you see, we broke, yeah, exactly like that. We broke out, and now we're testing that trend line. And basically, this would be we just broke the structure in the sense that we just made kind of a higher low. We didn't make a higher high yet on the 30-minute, but maybe that's what we're trying to make, is that we're trying to make another kind of higher high to confirm our bullish structure, because so far we made a higher low, but we didn't make a higher high. So it's very possible that we continue bearish, and we just made a lower high with this point where we're at right now at 1900. Maybe that is a lower high, and we're gonna make another lower low. But I don't know if that's a possible scenario.
It may be. I don't use trend lines. Obviously, if you can use them as a confluence, I don't have anything against them. You can do it. But my main thing is price action, and I know that if that 4-hour candle gives me a substantial support in this area right here, I know, like I said from previous information here, I know price now needs to respect, mandatory, no matter what, price will need to respect these previous areas of rejection, all these previous areas of rejection. The nearest one you have is this one right here, and this one, basically, this area right here, this one and this one. These are the nearest rejections areas. So to me, having to have that idea, are we going to retest a specific trend line on the 30-minute, whatever? For me, I don't see it that way. The way that I see it is, okay, this is my bearish candle. If this candle close bullish, respecting the low, can be tricky, because this candle didn't retest it completely, the low of that candle. So you cannot consider this as a strong support confirmation. Like, for example, when a candle is like this, and the next candle is retesting the low and rejecting and closing bullish, this is the perfect confirmation. When a candle break the low of the candle and engulf that candle, this is a stronger confirmation. When a candle is not retesting, like, for example, like this one right here, is not retesting the low and just closing like this, you need to be really careful at that point. You cannot count that specific candle as a strong, as a better confirmation, unless that candle is happening with New York session volume. which is in some cases, you will find that New York session, it tends to do those candles with no bottom wicks or no top wicks. And New York session, like for example, this candle right here, this is the 21, so this is Asian session. The moment New York session gives you candles rejecting a previous low, is easier for you to believe, okay, this is the move. You know, this is the one, and the next candles just need to drive price to the upside. So this, in this case right here, this candle can give me, plenty of options here, either direction, to the upside, to the downside. Something that I need to pay attention is how price will behave at the low of London session, and obviously at the high of that London session right there. This was basically the pre-London session. But this is the candle that I pay attention on a daily basis, how that candle is closing.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it may give you, it may give you a drop to retest that trend line, as well may not. The confirmations will happen. I think in price session will be the easiest way to pay attention here.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
Is NFP tomorrow as crazy as FOMC yesterday, or?
No, NFP is stronger than NFP. Yeah, FOMC is stronger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me go over some questions here.
Kerwin.
Maureen, yeah.
How are you, brother?
Good, brother. How are you, Eugene?
Good. I like your idea for buys to 1910. I really like it.
Yeah, man.
We got Asian high above. That means there'll be liquidity.
Yeah. And
1910, but when we get to 1910, if you look, I think on 15 minutes, is it 15 or what time frame is it? 15 minute, you can see there's a little from smart money as order block, and we got key level.
In the 4 hours or hourly? 15
minute. Look at the drop we got from the 15 minute from that green candle to the left.
Yeah, 1910.
You see there 1910. You see that big drop we got. From smart money, that's an order block.
Correct.
That's where the banks push the price down. So we could get a good reaction for a correction, and the correction could be big.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow.
Yeah, for tomorrow, exactly.
But today we just aim for 1910. It's good 100 pips.
Yeah. If we get there, that will be really nice.
But then looking as well how Asian just got that power to move the price and that clean traffic. It gives me the thing behind the brain. We could get a drop today as well in that clean traffic.
Yeah. Now, it's Nadine here. Nadine,
hey bro, I got special glasses like yours as well now. I got ones as well to see the market in different eyes.
Like for example, if last night you wanted to consider, remember what before we finished the streaming, this area right here was the max pullback, right? That was the max pullback. What I mean, how could you manage to get into this trade? Somebody open the mic and tell me, how could you manage to enter in that trade? What will be ideal here to spot on? Basically, the 15 minutes at that point. Where do you think it will be ideal to enter? Anybody? No, don't be shy.
Say it again, Kerwin.
I guess
like from this push from yesterday, we said the max pullback will be to the 1880, and obviously these areas of rejection at that point we didn't have much of rejections. We're in this area basically. The price was behaving somewhere here. So what will be ideal? What is the main thing that you may pay attention? For example, in this area, if price is driving to the downside, and then all you have is that candle closing. What can you call this move right here?
Fake out on those lower time frame.
Yeah, that's a fake out from the lower time frames right there. If price is driving down, to market close basically, and at market open, just push, no bottom wick right here. That's the perfect fake out. This is classic. After a daily, I think we talked about this yesterday as well, that when you have a heavy bullish move, you look for a structure in the lower time frames, and the moment price is giving you a close above or rejection from support, giving you a bullish close above the previous rejection, is gone. So it's going the opposite way. It's going for the continuation. So I think the easiest one, if this was a fake out right there, price doesn't need to come back at least to these previous rejection areas. You know, from there, you can have an easy job trading that specific move. And obviously, after the pullback has happened, let's go to here. And that's why I wanted to ask Nadine, how can she manage entering somewhere here, or anybody? She's not here. So how can you manage to enter in that specific continuation if you was planning to trade during an Asian session? This is your support, little tiny one, and this is what?
Confirmation of support, but
That's
this is the 5 minute on the Asian, bro. I mean,
yeah, this is the 5, but okay, okay, exactly. Go ahead, Kadir.
Yeah, I would, since it is, I don't trade Asian, but I know, like, what I learned from you, since Asian, the volume is pretty low, you should rather prefer the 15 minutes, and the 15 minutes from the Asian is the 5 minutes in New York, basically. Like,
okay,
yeah,
that's usually, right? That's what happened. And why is that I use the 15-minute candles during Asian session?
Because of low volume.
Did we have low volume yesterday during Asian session?
no,
Nope.
yeah,
Then
now
you
I get
move
it.
to a
Yeah.
lower time and see.
Yeah,
Those are
makes
the
sense,
little tiny details you need to adapt in the markets. Those are the things. That's why I want to make you guys participate, because I need to get the input from you. I mean, what is the main things that you're not paying attention sometimes? Why do I have to move to the 5 minutes in here? Oh, Kerwin used the 15 minutes during Asian, because Asian session is a crappy ass session, doesn't have volume. Now, did we have low volume yesterday? No. Then we moved to the lower times and we moved to the 5 minutes. If this was any other random day, that is yes, obviously I'll be trading 15 minutes with no matter what. But we had volume yesterday. Look at the size of those candles right here. Like this candle right here, 26 pips. This is not the average candle on Asian session. Then you move to the lower time frames, and this is your support, confirmation of support. Who's the candle that gave you that breakout up outside the previous resistance area? This is the candle. So you know, at any given point, it's okay to have a retest to the low of that candle right there, but price not closing below the breakout candle. It's really important. Therefore, this is the next trade. This is not the next trade, but if you don't have the balls to enter here or enter in this area thinking this is the fake out, so I can easily have a stop loss somewhere here below these previous rejections and then give it a try to the daily high, is worth it. That shot is worth it because you're looking for that specific continuation on the next daily. And who knows, the overall target, remember the overall target since yesterday, after price is closing above the 80, I told you guys, the 1880 is the area that we need to pay attention. But having a close above the 1880, which is this beautiful candle here, then pullback makes sense up to the 1880, and from there rejecting. So from the 80, the next target was the 1900s, and since then that candle right there gave you a plain and simple continuation. Even this candle gave you another continuation. Every 5 minute candle after the moves is like this. You only have the option to enter at any 5 minute candle and have a stop loss below the previous 5 minute candle. And that's the beauty of trading. Now price went all the way up to the 1900, started to give you, some sort of range, and started closing below the 1900s at this point right here. This pin right here to retest these previous areas of resistance is classic. If this is a valid breakout candle, what do you need? The next candle, since this candle is strong enough, the next candle, just pulling back to these lows and breaking and establish a new high. The moment that candle is not breaking that high, there's something going on in that specific area. When, all the way down to the 1890, and then, it is what it is. This is the area that is being respected now. the 90 area. You know, if it's respecting the 90 and 10 pips below the 90, you know that the continuation is there to retest that daily high. Okay. New York session. Okay. I will consider, it's pretty early in the session though. I'll wait a little bit more, but if you guys want to consider dealing with this previous rejection area, with that previous resistance, if that candle gives you a pullback, for example, toward that area right there and breaking that high, you can easily have a stop loss right here. And that candle breaking that high is because it will continue up.
Good morning, Kerwin.
Mansoor, good morning, brother.
How are you doing, man?
Good, my brother, and you? That's it.
I have 3 bullets there from London. I might take a shot here.
Yeah, I'll consider if that candle break that high, I will consider this my breakout candle. Doesn't have a top wick, but I think that New York volume can give the shot right there.
See, it's breaking on the 1 hour. This new 1 hour is breaking the previous high now nearly.
The main area of rejection we have is the 4-hour candle high from London, basically. But other than that, this candle right here, like a safest trade, will be outside the 1890 1902, basically. That area.
Yeah, 1902 is perfect because you got Asian high above that, so there's liquidity there. I'll push higher.
Yeah, 20. Get 20 at that point, breaking that daily high will give you extra change, like 20 more.
Sometimes you see, sometimes it fucking push, and sometimes it just kisses it, takes the liquidity, and does a heavy pullback before continuation. That's the only down point. Sometimes it just runs away for the buys, but sometimes it just breaks it, takes the liquidity of that zone there on your chart, on the 5-minute left there where all the wicks and then pulls back again, does a correction, and then it does the move.
Yeah. The other option here will be if that 5-minute candle doesn't break that high, and then a new 5 come back, retest this candle right here and breaks that high. That is going. Let's see. I'll risk it at least 20 pips in here. 20 pips in there, just for fun. At that point, remember the main rejection area is this one right here. Outside this area, we have basically clean moves. So the safest, the easiest will be outside this area. In this area, we may still have some sort of a contention because we're dealing with all this structure right here. But New York session tends to move really nice, you know, at least 20 pips outside that structure. Can be nice.
How are you going to manage the risk?
How can I manage the risk?
Yeah.
Closing, if that candle doesn't give me the close that I want in the next 30 seconds, basically, I will close 50%. And then I will wait for the next candle to retest that low and break this high, because that will be even better for a confirmation.
Okay.
And obviously you're trading at resistance, you're not risking 2%, you're not risking 3% in here. You're risking small. The best risk to increase risk will have like a buy stop, like having in consideration a buy stop above this area right here. See that candle right there gave me that fishy close. So now the current candle can come back to this low right here, but needs to respect that low and give me the break above this candle. If not, instead of that, it's just retesting that low, retesting that high, and breaking that low means this is my double top at the key level. We may stay in range in here. Can be a risky one to hold on that trade.
Nice.
Yeah. That's
nice one.
Breaking that there. Max pullback in here will be this area basically. Let me delete this one. That's good that this pullback is happening now. It's good. Don't be scared. Max pullback is this area. So don't be scared. You know, instead of, here's the thing, instead of closing your position ASAP, whatever, or risking 20 and closing your position just because price is moving a direction, a good idea is every time that you consider to take a trade, have like a like a consider stop loss below previous structure. I forgot to mention this for the new ones, but if you rather risk, you know, 25, 30 pips in here, than risking 10 here, then next time price is moving here, another 20 here, and then next time is pulling back, another 20 here. So you have to be really, really careful. You know, instead of having those trades with a pretty tight stop loss, let it breathe a little bit more. You know, you will have plenty of times. This 50-minute candle have more, 3 more minutes to close. So what you want to see, this 50-minute candle is taking that breather outside this area. Remember that we're following the daily candle. So what is the worst case scenario here? That this 50-minute candle, instead of giving you that close, that push, will close below this area. It's okay. You can call it a day at that point.
Erwin, to be honest, bro, like I didn't take this buy as I took another entry, but whatever, I won't mention that. But I don't trust this move up at all, to be honest.
Okay.
Like what I was looking for buys as well, but what I was looking is like NY pulling back to the secondary structure, maybe even break it, but the body's closing above, and then with the next 5 minutes, I can go for buys, you know, and then it's also worth it for me because of the risk reward, you know, because here we have like, how many pips is that to the London 4-hour? Yeah, I mean it's 20 pips. It can give you that move, but I think we can with the previous daily and today's daily with no bottom wick, we can get to like 19, 10, 19, even more, maybe 19, 15, you know.
Yeah. You'd be surprised if price is breaking this candle right here and breaking really hard that high. If that happen, it will fly. It will fly from there. And you'll be surprised with no news, with nothing, you know, with no fundamentals. Price can easily take over from that on that 4-hour candle high from London, and having like a, just in case, having like a buy stop in here will be worth it. You know, it will be worth it, because if price is not respecting that London volume, it can fly. And you'll be surprised why price is flying so much.
Yeah, but you see where that new, you see where we got the rejection, that 5-minute candle you have marked,
that's
the red
the
one.
drop, nice.
1900, you have the NY high.
Wow.
105. If you put a buy stop there and it goes back, it's gonna go.
Yeah.
But now we just tagged in the guys that had buy stops pre-London or pre-NY. Now it's gonna wash them down.
If this 5 had a top wick, I would smash them buys. But it looked fishy, man.
Yeah, I mean, for me, as long price respect this area, I will consider that still. I just want to see the closing on that 15-minute candle. If that 15-minute candle doesn't give me a good close, then, you know, that's it. I won't be forcing that trade. I just wanted to give a try to this trade because I know the price going to retest that 4-hour candle from London will be a massive one. Can take me to the 1905 to the 1907 in no time.
Yeah,
19.6.
like at least 20 pips above the 4-hour high, you get easy.
Yeah. Okay. Let's be clever here. That candle just created the confirmation that resistance has been established there. This candle, if that candle is breaking this low, I'll close my position no matter what, because that candle breaking this low, going back to retest this high and breaking this low can take price all the way down here. And I'm not interested in that. So I need to be really careful here. If the continuation is up, this low needs to be respected. If not, then I will close my position. We need to be, you know, to have a little bit more, waiting a little bit more before considering anything else. Still pretty early in the session, but I think New York volume can do the job. I just don't want to hold a position that can be a crazy drag down right there.
Morning, break of the confirmation.
Morning, brother. How are you?
I'm good. Sorry, Kadia, just a quick one. Do you prescribe to the 8:20 a.m. COMEX open for volume?
Not really, not really. But it's something that we have seen before. That is pulling that liquidity at 820. Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Yeah. If anybody is holding that position, here is when things get interesting. You don't want to see price going back and retesting this low, rejecting that high and retesting this low. If it's retesting that low, feel free to close all your positions there.
Kerwin.
Yeah.
Leo here.
Hey, Leo, what's up, brother? Where are you from,
Good.
Leo?
Kenya.
Kenya. Oh, cheers.
Now, a quick one. Huh?
Yeah.
The two candles, the bearish candles. Is it not that the candles were the? Ooh, that's a move.
It's okay. It's okay. Keep talking. Don't worry. It's moment to retest that 4-hour candle high. Don't worry.
So
you were
just
screaming in these areas when you need to scream. You were screaming. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, go ahead.
So
go
now,
ahead.
Huh?
Push.
I'm asking.
Push.
Uh-huh.
Those bearish candles, they're just coming down to take more orders, and then now it shoots up to 1900 and it moves past that resistance. Is that how it's happening right now? Because we are almost at 8:30 a New York session.
Yes. So it's already it's 13 minutes to the 30-minute candle. The 30-minute candle, what are the options for that 30-minute candle? Do you think that 30-minute candle has potential to retest that high, break that high easily, or just go retest and stay below that resistance? Then, at this point, the 30-minute candle looks juicy, right? All you need is a new 5-minute candle taking over this resistance, and it's just for the books. You're not gonna see most likely this price anymore unless this price is rejecting that resistance on the 4-hour. The resistance on the 4-hour from London is the most dangerous areas to trade. Like if I wanted to take that trade, I'll take that trade in this area, aiming for this area to have that spare change just in case of having a rejection from there. Let me be really careful here.
Baby, it's nice.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how price can break that resistance and take you to the 1905 in no time. And you'd be super surprised. You'd be like, holy fuck, how this happened? Oh, because that's volume from New York. Oh, because if this was a valid resistance, that 4-hour candle didn't have any business retesting that high. The daily high, which is the last frontier, is this baby right here. This right there. So all you need is this candle. Already broke the high of the 4-hour. All you need is this 5-minute candle, the body closing above this previous rejection. If that body closed at last second below this area, then we are in trouble because it just retested. Here you need to secure some just in case and let the rest run. But at that point, you know that the continuation makes a lot of sense because you're trading with the New York volume. You're trading with the carryover from the orders from FOMC. So we can easily go back to the 1910, 1920 is the most for today, but 1910 makes a lot of sense. But obviously you don't need to be greedy. From this area to this area, price already moved 30 pips. You need to secure some. Usually, yeah, that closing right there. Now, pullback makes sense to the 1900s, no more than that. If it's breaking that 1900s, then you're in trouble right there. If it's breaking more than the 1900s. But it's okay. For the continuation, makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, we wicked above the day high. Like if the day high needed to be respected, we would have not wicked a higher than it. We would have rejected under or at the same level. But
this
the fact that
here,
the price went higher,
exactly.
The fact that the price went higher, that means that okay, we are able to push that day high.
Yeah, I had to add another position here at the 1901. 1900.1. I just had to do it, man. I couldn't miss that entry. This is cake. This is too good for me to miss.
Hey, good morning.
Morning. How are you, brother?
Good, brother. Good.
If this is the retest and we're failing to break that high and breaking this low, close your position. I choose secure my last position. I have this position at break even. I'm gonna let that trade run a little bit more. I need to trust that move above that previous daily high, no matter what. Unless that candle is giving me rejection from that specific high again and closing bearish or breaking its own low, like this one right here, then this position is already secure with my stop loss in this area, basically just to cover the spread. No more than that.
Kerwin, we didn't break the high of the daily, bro. Just
Not
so you
yet.
know.
This is the daily high. Yeah, just this in that daily high. Yeah,
Okay.
that's why we need to be really careful there. Yeah.
Wait, the daily high is not 1902.308.
1903.
No,
1903.7 0.19.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the second time that price is retesting that high and is not breaking it, you know. So wait until that like I said, this 5-minute candle, no matter what, this 5-minute candle needs to respect its own low. You know, I don't want a pullback to the low of this candle right here. No. All I need is this low being respected. If it's breaking that low, then it's going the opposite way because it's rejecting that daily. And I don't want to have a stop loss here because I know that this from this area to this area will be like almost 17, 18 pips, something like that, to have a with the spread and all the stuff. You know, all the way to this area right here is like 17 pips almost. Yeah. So all I need is continuation. I just need to be a little bit more, you know, cautious what may happen in this specific area right here.
Owen,
Yeah, man.
we don't consider the unemployment claims.
For the fundamentals?
Yes.
Not really. Not really. That can be just plain and simple liquidity and continuation, but to sell, no. I mean, for buys, remember, for buys, for me, makes sense, a lot of sense, breaking that daily high and continue to the 1910 at least. But if it's breaking to the downside, unemployment, whatever, I don't want to consider that. I can consider it tomorrow, NFP. But I do know if it's getting rejection from that daily high, you know, I need to be really careful what may happen at the low of that candle right there, because this is the retest candle. This candle can easily break its own low, close below this area, and then start ranging in this area right here. That's why I told you guys secure some, because I don't want you guys, you know, to be risking more than expected in here. Usually from the break of the daily, the high of the day, you have 20 more pips to the upside. That's why I'm thinking of a possible, for example, a possible 1905 in no time. Now, if it's going to the 1905, giving me that 20 pips above the current daily high, which is this one right here, then I'll have to call it a day if it's giving me rejection and closing below this resistance again. This is your daily high right there. Yeah, I'm gonna close this position. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good move.
So if we close under London high, that means we're going back inside the range, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, like this candle right now is giving that rejection from that daily high. So now retest to this area makes a lot of sense, and break below that area as well makes a lot of sense. That's why. Yeah. Let's see. You don't want, in total honesty, for this move, you don't want to see price going back to retest the New York Open, basically, which is this area right here. If you want to see a continuation to the upside, it's breaking New York low, that will be a mess, because this is heavy rejection, and the size of the candles are not worth it to consider, you know, buys or sells at that point. Can be too much risk involved.
Urban bro, I have a question.
Yeah.
Like normally,
give me 1 second. I will consider another entry if I want to give it a try. Another trade right here. 22 pips. No, I was thinking a possible retest to that high and breaking that high using this candle low as a possible stop loss to consider that entry, but no, it's not.
No, that's just a retest of 1900 at this point.
Yeah, it's not worth it. But I do know, based on these rejections right here, if price is breaking that high, we have potential to retest the daily high. And if it's giving you a retest to the daily high the third time, it's because it will break it. You know, that's why I wanted to consider that another entry here. But no, it's not worth it. I can wait until NYSE maybe. Or maybe something leaving this area, impulsive entry above this area right here. Yeah, go ahead, Kadir.
Yeah, what I wanted to ask, bro, is like basically, like I personally don't feel comfortable trading NY if I don't see a pullback first. You know, that's why I didn't enter on this one. But how do you do that? Like, is it just because we had FOMC yesterday and there is a lot of volume and you just trust that volume?
Yeah,
or is it another reason?
And usually when we have strong fundamentals like FOMC, you don't have anything you know, in your power to counter trend FOMC unless you have 2 4-hour candles giving you the opposite direction. Like for example, price is going down with FOMC. Until you have 2 4-hour candles closing bullish, you don't have any business looking for a retracement or looking for a correction of the move. For the bigger picture, don't get me wrong, you will have plenty of confirmations in the lower time frames, but in the higher time frames for the bigger picture, like for a daily, for a weekly, for a monthly candle, if you don't have 2 4-hour candles closing against the direction from FOMC, you don't have any business counter trend in that specific move. The one from today was a strong confirmation. The 4-hour candle from London is a strong confirmation that resistance has been established, but as this candle is not giving you the confirmation breaking that low, you don't have any business long term. Like for example, if that candle retests the daily high and all of a sudden with the news gives me a break below this area, I will believe, okay, this is the highest for the monthly candle, so therefore I have potential to retest this low and a possible continuation to the downside again. That's all. Like for example, news are about to happen right now. 2 more minutes, right? What do you think will happen with the news? I don't need to know the numbers. What do you think will happen based on price action?
Based on this current situation, like this 30, if it closes here, next 30 retest 99 most likely, and then fly.
Yeah, based on price action for me, the news, news max pullback to grab liquidity will be this one right here. In the meantime, retail trader may start selling here instead of that, and that's if numbers are good, which I think it will. That's max pullback over here. This is the buying area, and then riding the way all the way up again, and just price grabbing liquidity. Now, in this specific scenario, how the 5-minute candle is behaving is looking like the news. No matter what, if I have to guess with the news, let's say the numbers stay, there will be good numbers, and no matter what, that candle, based on how that candle is closing, the news can retest this area max at this point, and then breaking this high and continuation, really nice and easy, breaking the daily high, going to the 1905. But sometimes the news mess a little bit with price action, but that doesn't mean that we need to trust the news unless price is giving you a close below a certain area, like for example having a close below this area, then yeah. Other than that, no. And this is why a retail trader is really easy for them to fall for the trap or the news. Not that I don't like fundamentals, don't get me wrong, I do like fundamentals, because when fundamentals are based on the same with the same price action, it's really easy to trade. But when fundamentals are against my price action, I don't trust them, so I don't like them. I don't like them at all. Yeah, that's a continuation. That's good.
I think Orange follows the news, so I don't think it was going to be
too much of a deep pullback?
No, I hope no. I hope not. For the simplicity and trading, all I want to see is that 1905 being hit, at least before any rejection. Other than that, no.
Man, I was contemplating to get in after that 5 minute, the previous 5 minute. We retested 98, but after yesterday.
If anybody's, yeah, if anybody's in that move, I know you guys are. Some of you guys are cowboy. Have an idea that if price is going back to retest this low, you will need to close your position. But at this point, the 1905, there is the area. See how getting outside that daily high, those 20 pips are the easiest pips that you may have. And at this point, it's just plain and simple continuation. Welcome to Profit Land. Diogo, 4%. Holy. Wow. Good work, brother. Good work. Yeah. Yeah. See, it's easy. Reading price action is easy. You need to trust price action. Trust me on this.
Clean traffic on the left, Kerwin, on the 30-minute.
Amen, papi. And the 15 as well. 4-hour candles basically didn't have much of rejections up to the 7 area. This area overall, this area right here. But the 1805 was a good hit. 40, 45, 44 pips.
Yeah, I'm in from 1900.
Yeah.
50 pips right now.
That's why, instead of feeding the markets like entering 1, 2, 3 times in a row, being stopped out with 10 pips, 20 pips is not worth it. Just let those trades breathe a little bit more. And it's fun. It's fun. Nothing has changed at this point. You need to trust the FOMC. Yeah. Good, Donnie. Good work. 3%. That's beautiful. I used to close my position too early. Was very aggressive on managing risk, and I will miss the move. Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, brother.
Yeah. The maximum pullback now would be around 1903.21, right?
9103. Okay. Give me 1 second here on the 5. Well, max pullback. This one right here. This area right here. It's okay to come back and retest those bodies right there, but no more than that. But at this point, if you're in profits, secure some. Let the risk run. We may see an easy job. You'll be surprised how gold tend to rally, not giving you a single clue to counter trend. But that move was really good. Remember the 1906, all these area 1906, 1907 is previous rejections from the left-hand side. So you need to be really careful here. Those are the areas that may give you the same today. But other than that, leaving this area will be a massive breather. In my opinion, the 1910 is a beautiful target for that daily today. But, you never know if pre-NY will come back to retest this area before the continuation. Yeah. Thank you so much, Donnie. Thank you so much for trusting my work. Yeah, I didn't want to add more risk on that trade because the trade that I was holding was worth it. I didn't want to. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, how are you,
John? I'm very good, thank you, Kerwin. I would like to tell you thank you so much because since I am in live with you, I have been very consistent and also applying and putting more strong my strategy. That's made me so. Thank you so much, Kerwin.
Beautiful.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge, for everything you do. Thank you.
Beautiful, no problem. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a blessing.
Second big.
Yeah. This is the 50.
Morning, Kerwin.
Morning, brother. This is the. Give me 1 second before. This is the 50% of the candle right there, roughly there. So now, based on how that candle closed, Max pullback, this 50. If the easy continuation will be there, the key level you have here is the 1905. So that 1905 can give you, the continuation. This specific area, the 1904, now will need to hold pretty strong and easy. Or the 50% of that breakout candle, which is this baby right here. That candle alone is 52 pips in profits. Go ahead, brother. Sorry.
How are you?
Good, my brother. And you?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. Where are you from?
This is Robbie, bro.
Huh? No, no, but
Robbie.
everybody, yeah, but I want Robbie to introduce himself. I mean, I know that's Robbie. I see Robbie on the screen. I know Robbie's talking, but I want Robbie to introduce himself. Like, so everybody know where Robbie.
Well, you made me laugh, Kevin. I thought I have to introduce myself to you also.
Come on, Robbie. You're famous.
You're famous, man. Come on.
Robbie,
This
how many
meeting is
months
being
are you trading
recorded,
now?
so you'll be in the gram in no time. I'll post it on Instagram.
I've been trading for the past 6 months now, and I'm very profitable, taking swing trades, posting all my trade, getting 100 pips, 400 pips in GJ and gold. So it's going good.
Beautiful, brother. That's a blessing, man.
That's amazing.
Not to forget that I've learned everything from Kerwin.
Don't say that. Don't say that. You learn a lot from Kadir.
No.
And the bad habits from Dennis.
Bad habits comes from many banks.
Yeah. Dennis, you speak Arabic, right?
No. Only
No?
Turkish.
Dennis is Turkish, bro.
Oh, Turkish? For real, Dennis?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Till today. Never knew
Dennis
that.
means sea, bro, in Turkish.
Means?
Sea.
See.
And Z is what?
No,
The
sea.
sea, bro. Ocean, like sea. You know?
Oh, see. Okay, see. Oh,
You
for real,
see
then?
now, right?
Oh, see. Oh, nice. Until today. See, every day I learn something new.
Yeah.
Kerwin, I have a question.
Yeah, man. $5 each question.
Yeah, okay.
No, go ahead, brother.
When you open this trade over here, what keeps you to not close your position over here? Because it's more than 50% of this candle.
No.
And it breaks this one's low.
No, because look, let's go back in time here. Hopefully I don't get stopped out. Let me give me 1 second.
I will scream, bro, if I see 1900 get that. 1902.
I will close.
So there's
another 50% here. Just
do you guys see like a 4-hour resistance at this level? Like 1905 is a 4-hour that was rejected on the 25, 26, 27 of April many times, and now we're retesting that level again.
No, I
Yeah,
know
on the
this
left.
area is full of rejection.
On the left, yeah, exactly, on the left.
Yeah, that's why you should secure here.
Yeah. No, I know this area is full of rejections. You know, it can give me an easy job, but I won't be looking for, for more at this point. That 1905 was easy target. So going back to your question, Amir, why I'm planning, give me 1 second, because my wife is driving me crazy here on the phone. Oh my days. Where's the freaking phone? Jeez. Oh, it's right here. Wait 1 second. Let me lower the volume there. Okay, sorry guys. So here's the thing. Why considering that early entry and why not waiting for price breaking outside this area? What is my main idea here? The volume from New York session. If this is a valid rejection from the 1900s, why price is going for a second time to this area right here? Stop selling, Eugene. So in this area, if it's going to retest this area, why is going back for the second time in New York volume? At that point, if price needs to continue, remember, every time that price is giving you a beautiful candle like this, all you want is next candle do exactly the same. Like this one, for example, next one doing exactly the same. So then the idea was, if this candle is closing like this, there's a lot of volume, New York session. So New York session, we know that New York session has enough information, enough volume to go at least to retest the London candle, which is the rejection from London candles, roughly somewhere here, I think. This is specific candle right here. That's the high from London, right? So if it's going back from rejecting from these lows, I know the higher time frame is telling me look for buys, don't look for sells, look for the continuation from FOMC. What is the main idea here? If this is a beautiful candle, the next candle, what is the worst case scenario here? Let me draw here. So the worst case scenario will be having a bearish candle, a bearish candle closing maybe like this, like giving me a fake move from the upside. At that point, I need to be really careful. Why? Because if the next candle is retesting that low and breaking that low, this area right here is my contention area. So I have to risk it for the biscuit instead of closing my entire position, right? What I can do is when that candle is closing bearish, then what I will do is close 50%, maybe in 10 pips drag down, maybe in 5 pips drag down, maybe 1 pip drag down. You never know how much of the drag down you will have when that candle closes. But until that candle closes, you don't have any business closing your position. Why? Because that candle can easily go back in a single move to this area right here. But this area is your contention. You don't need to be scared at all if price is going back to retest previous contention area, because that's classic on gold. Going to retest now, you don't feel comfortable holding that specific position because you're having that candle right there, then it's okay. Close 50. Then the worst thing that can happen here is the next candle breaking that low, retesting that high or retesting this high, not giving you that, and this candle doing this. Now, if that candle retests the whole high on this candle right here and is breaking this low, close your position, because this candle right here already retested that previous, the confirmation of the candle, and that candle can easily give you something like this. From this area to this area, you don't have, not that you don't have the balls, you don't need that specific stress trading this specific move, holding that specific move just because you think no, the move needs to go up. No, your job is looking for confirmations in lower time frames, looking for the higher time frame, which is the main idea that you need to follow on a daily basis. And that candle right there, rejected. The moment that candle is closing like that, all you need is a retest to that candle, but the candle, the third candle basically, because this is the confirmation. At that point, price still respecting this area of contention. Remember what I drew this line. I drew this line for the purpose that you need to pay attention what may happen in this area right here. From this area, from the 1900s, 1901, whatever, this area, wherever you enter, to this area right here is roughly 30 pips. I'd rather risk 30 pips in here, cutting my losses, and at that point, I'm only risking 15, right? If I'm closing maybe in 15 pips in a stop loss in loss here, I'm closing maybe 50%. I'm reducing my risk by a half. Now, I won't be closing my position and entering sells because that's the worst thing that I can do as a trader. No. If I enter buys, is for one specific reason, and it's because I trust the higher time frame and I need that price going back to retest that 4-hour candle from London. If I had to change my bias every time a 5-minute candle prints in the chart, I'm failing. I'm not allowed to change my pants just because I'm seeing a 5-minute candle closing a bearish. No. The idea is still valid, and then I will use this candle low as my contention for a next candle, for a continuation. Why? Because if this is my resistance, this is the confirmation of resistance. If price is breaking this low, won't stop in this area. Trust me on that. It won't stop in here. It will go all the way down. Why? Because if prices, first of all, needs to retest the high and break its own low. And this candle right here respected the low, never broke that low, and started breaking that high. I was thinking, adding more position, but I will wait I'll wait for price come back to that specific area again, or even this area. And at that point, I already secure some in this area. I don't care what may happen in this area. And if price is going back to retest this area and giving me a break above this candle right here, I know I can give it a try. Again, I didn't give it a try on this specific move because I was like, no, you know what? I need to enjoy the move that I grab. I need to trust the higher time frame here. I don't need the risk, you know, to put some sort of risk in there. Even though at that point I can easily be using the 1899 as my possible stop loss right there. But I didn't wanna enter again on this specific trade. But the moment price is breaking that high, that's why when this candle is closing, I'm asking you guys, what is your take on the news? You know, the news, you know, for price action, this low needs to be respected. Max pullback here, and trust me, if I see a drop to this area right here, I'll be looking for buys, no matter what. The same that I did from I think a couple of weeks ago. You know, buying the dips with bare hands like a cowboy, like a big boy, with no remorse, with no fear. Why? Because I know that if candles are breaking the 4-hour candle high, it's because we need more, you know, more of a push. And that won't stop until probably goes to the 1910 today. But it is what it is. The move happened, really nice and easy, and that's pretty much it. Look at this candle again. Another resistance, confirmation of resistance. This candle is not breaking the confirmation of resistance right here. All it's doing is creating a brand new high. And here's when things get interesting here, 1907, somewhere there. But now you have the idea that price is moving up. You don't want a counter trend. You know, this is why you don't need to be a cowboy. You don't need to counter trend. But somebody will, I don't know if it's somebody that was selling or somebody was securing positions, whatever, when this candle was bearish, I told him, don't do it. You know, don't sell it. Don't sell it. Whoever was, maybe I'm wrong, maybe planning to sell, maybe was just securing positions, whatever, don't sell it because nothing has changed at this point. Every 50-minute candle from now on will do exactly the same thing. Leaving a wick, next, another wick fill. Unless NYSE, a new 4-hour candle is coming in play. Remember the analysis from this morning, having a 4-hour candle breaking that high will give you plenty of options, right? Now, the 10 a.m. candle, still long way to go to the 10 a.m. candle. And at that point, you know, what is the thing that I need to pay attention here? How this 4-hour candle will close. If this 4-hour candle will close with a body below those previous bodies, or this candle will take over all these previous rejections areas to give me that easy move to the 1910. That's pretty much it.
Thanks, man.
Is anybody still holding positions?
I closed at 1905. I wish I held some runners, but whatever.
Okay, Donnie,
yeah, I'm still holding position.
Yeah. I made yesterday losses back then. Oh, beautiful work, Pepito.
Thank you.
If this 4-hour closes like this, Kerwin, engulfing all the others previous one, does this mean the next 4-hour is going to be also, I mean, bullish and pushing to 1920?
Yeah, most likely, yeah. If that candle closed bullish above the 1910, I have no doubt a new 4-hour candle will take over to the 1920. The volume is too much, man. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much of a volume right here.
Just watch the 1910.
The blue one.
Good morning, Corwin.
Morning.
I'm talking here from Dallas, Texas.
Oh, nice. How's the weather in Dallas today?
It's gonna rain, maybe.
Oh,
coming.
Okay. Tomer live in Austin.
Yeah, my question is, I have a question about the 5 minutes, the new 5 minutes. It's so I should like trust the 15 minutes and start taking it from where the red line is, but I would rather like waited until like it broke the previous 15 minutes and I took the position here. Yes, exactly. Then I closed at 10 points because I felt like I took a
late entry.
Yeah. So what is your advice here? Should I trust the 15 minutes and trust the volume and take it, or what should I do?
I mean, don't trust me because I may be wrong. You know, I may be wrong, but the way that I trade is the way that is paying me on a daily basis. You know, I will say 90% of the times. I may have a losing day. I don't care, but I won't change my way of trading just because having a bad day at trading. The easiest, and this is why I wanted to create this specific trading room, because I want to teach the easiest way to trade gold during New York session. This won't work if you trade Asian session. This won't work if you trade London session. They have different behavior. Something that is a push, a move that I'm looking to a previous resistance on 4 hours, or during New York, during London, looking for a push to a resistance on a 4 hour during Asian session, maybe just plain and simple pullback before a heavy continuation. So depending the session you trade, I will say if you trade New York session, try to master the 5 minutes, because 5 minutes and key levels will give you plenty of information. You don't need, for example, you don't need to wait until price action is already too high to take that position. You can easily, if you see that the previous 15-minute candle doesn't have a bottom wick, as soon the 15-minute candle is opening, go for it. Have a decent stop loss right there, because I rather look for a push with this candle confirmation that is leaving that area, instead of entering already 30 pips above that candle, 30 pips in volume. I rather enter here, and I enter with this specific stop loss right there, because what is the worst thing that can happen there? A pullback to a previous resistance area and then giving you a weak fill with momentum, or a heavy rejection. This may happen once in a lifetime, that you will have a 50-minute candle with no bottom wick. In most cases, you will have a little tiny TT right here. Excuse me, a little tiny bottom wick. Oh, my bad. Like this, for example, like little pullback, and maybe a little pullback. Oh, somebody's recording there. And then a possible rejection from there. Then you can easily use that specific low as a possible stop loss. Entering here, then you can easily use this stop loss right there. But this is pretty easy.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
And do you hear me good?
Yes, Toma.
Wow, fuck, you're a genius, Amir. You're a fucking genius, bro.
Why? What happened?
Because I've been talking honestly for like 10 minutes, and I'm getting angry at all of you. Like, why no one answers? No one answers. I asked a question, and like Kerwin is
Well, it
ignoring.
happened to me a couple times.
No one gives a fuck.
Fucking culiado. Tome. This is
Yes,
for you,
sir.
Toma. You should have dropped a comment in the chat, brother. Come on, man.
Bro, you're recording, Kerwin. Don't forget that.
Kerwin to show an FU candle.
Toma, why not dropping a comment on the chat, brother? So you've been
No,
talking.
I don't know, because I was kind of, I don't know. I see the globe thing in the microphone where you talk. So I'm like, they're ignoring me. Kerwin wants me out of here.
No, man, no, don't say that. Don't say that. You know, this group is inclusive. This group doesn't take anyone out just because of religion, race, whatever color on your skin. No, don't.
Hey, Kerwin.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I think Alok has a question. Alok, go ahead, brother.
Hi, Kerwin. Hi, all.
Hey, how are you, brother?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Good, man. Let me secure another 50% on this say, and I'm gonna let the rest run. Yeah, that's it. Go ahead, brother. Sorry.
Yeah. So, Kerwin, so many times you mentioned the pullback thing, right? On 5 minutes during New York volume. So you always mentioned most of it, like 50%, it should come, not more than that. So is that a thumb rule we should be taking with momentum? Suppose in this case today, so you can see so many 5 minutes candles breaking above, and then there is a pullback, not to the 50%, but yeah, there is a pullback. So we should be taking positions with pullback and confirmation, a bullish candle probably on 1 minute as well, or we should wait again to have a pullback and then it will break above the previous high of the candle.
Different case scenarios. There's some pullbacks they're presented just outside a resistant area from the nearest structure you have, from the nearest information. There are pullbacks that are happening from previous rejection areas. Like for example, if you pull the information here, if I have something rejecting that 1910, that's why I was securing more in this area right here, because I won't be I'll be surprised if gold reject that 1910 and gives me a whole correction before the continuation with the NYSE session. My job is securing profits, managing risk, and not being greedy in the market is a must. Now, price move already 70 from the positions that I'm holding, the runner 70, 77, and 67 pips in those positions. Now, if I already in profits, if I already secured it back, I don't care what may happen, but I do know that, for example, in this case, the rejection may be easier than before in this area. So in this area, I can consider pullback, but in this area, I can consider rejection. And at that point, if I'm getting pullbacks on the 5-minute candles, for example, let's say this candle, retest that high, break the low, and price is leaving this specific area, I know this is becoming a rejection and not a simple pullback, because a pullback, to an extent, a heavy pullback will be this one right here, 1903. But if it's breaking below the 1903, then it's not a pullback. It's a rejection from that area. And the moment price is closing below this resistance right here, this whole move can be corrected. Can easily be corrected like this move. If it's a valid pullback, in simple terms, this one right here, a simple pullback will be toward this area right here. Give you some form of wicks from the downside, a wick from the downside, a body of the candle taking a breather outside this area, and then we're good to go. But if instead of having that specific pullback, all you have is price going back, rejecting, ranging little by little, going back to retest this area, not respecting this low, closing inside this area, then this was a plain and simple rejection and a possible fake out. Then price will start rejecting these previous areas of rejection, and in 1905, somewhere here, will be your contention area, and a possible correction may happen to this area overall. So this is a different case scenario, trading below a heavy rejection zone or trading at a specific rejection zone. I have a video on the Google Drive called support, resistance, and possible rejection from zones based on higher timeframes. And this is the specific rejection zone that you may find in the higher timeframe. Now, I am telling you to sell. No, I'm not telling you sell gold today. No, just wait for pull back. Let's see if price respect this area, then create some sort of support, and then a continuation. You don't need to to add that specific stress to your trading plan. Unless you're an experienced trader, then do it. Other than that, be really careful, because on a daily basis, this won't play out. Like for example, if I wanted to have a correction in price, the current price action right here is this one right. This is my price action right there. This candle already closed below those 1 minute, so it's okay for that 1 minute retest a little bit and then break this low, going all the way down here. That's it. That's all. But do you want to counter trend that move? Not really. You don't want to counter trend that move. You need to be just waiting for pullbacks, price going back to this area, give you rejection, maybe giving you support. But if price is breaking this low, it's because it's going downtown, and this was just plain and simple fake out. Not fake out, but this was a plain and simple retest to previous areas of rejection, and based on the higher timeframes, this can be the area that you may have as a possible high for the monthly candle. That's it.
Okay.
Somebody took that trade, right? I was listening to the thing and something sounding there.
Sorry, Kerwin, a follow-up question again on this one.
Another $5. Each question is $5. You knew that or no?
Yeah, I know that.
Okay, go ahead, man.
Yeah. So actually, this 5-minute structure. So generally, you mentioned that in Asian session you can go with 15 minutes confirmation, but in New York, since the high volume, you can go with 5 minutes of confirmation, right? So yes. This 5-minute valid, means confirmations are valid till London close?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
I have a question, quick one.
Yeah.
Essentially, now when you say max pullback is 1903, this is your 5-minute pullback. So you're basing all your analysis on that 5-minute structure.
Yes.
But who says that we cannot go for a 15-minute pullback at 1900? I'm just trying to understand why are we stuck to the 5-minute analysis, but a 15-minute pullback is still a healthy pullback at 1900, or not? Or if it goes to 1900, you think that means we're not bullish anymore?
Exactly. Plain and simple. If a 15-minute candle, a hourly candle, all is giving you rejections from those areas, is because it's not going up anymore. If price, remember, this was a previous resistance area, right? This previous rejection area. You don't want to see price breaking those lows and going and trading inside this area. Why? Because price then will have so much headaches trying to break this area, because this is becoming your fake out. Therefore, you don't want to see price leaving this specific area. Basically, if that candle is breaking that low, closing inside this area with, not only this candle, any other candle later on, having a close below that area, then that means this is becoming rejection, because you have rejections to the left hand side. If this candle was not at a specific rejection, if we didn't have this key level here, let's say this is a 1902, let's say this is a 1902, and I know that I have a 1910 on top of this area, then I don't care what happened with this pullback. I know the pullback may happen to the 1900s and then a possible continuation, but this rejection is happening from this specific rejection point from the 1910. I know this means trouble holding positions. That's why I was closing most of my position.
No, well, I understand this part, Kerwin. What I'm trying to understand is, let's say you wait for 1900, we're still bullish. I mean, at 1900, you can still look for longs at 1900. I'm just saying, you're saying max pullback 1903 if you're holding position, right?
If you're
not
holding
if you want to
positions,
enter
yes.
a new. Okay, but if you want to enter a position, you can still enter at 1900. That will still make your bullish structure intact. It will not really cancel your bullish bias.
The 1900s is here, right? So if I'm getting, let's say, 15-minute candles behaving like this, 15-minute candles behaving like this, and all I see later on is something like this, right there. Why why I need to look for buys in here when I know this was a previous heavy rejections on 4 hours, all this area overall. This was my resistance for a daily candle, and all I'm getting is overall 4 hours or hourly candles giving me rejections from there. The moment that 4-hour candle, the easiest thing to pay attention here will be pull back to a previous area of rejection like this one right here and look for that specific drop. But if it's closing below this resistance, when price is closing below a resistance, it's because something is happening and you don't want to see that specific close below resistance if you're looking for a continuation. If I'm planning, for example, for the rest of the week for NFP, what is the max pullback that I need for NFP? This specific area of contention, this specific resistance right here. If NFP, let's say daily candle, managed to close above the 1910, 1915, 1920, whatever, and I have NFP coming clutch toward this area right here, I won't be selling unless I have candles leaving this area overall, leaving that 1900s. Yes, I agree that pullback can happen to the 1900, but then I won't be looking for buys at the 1900. I need price leaving again this specific area to the upside, because if it's closing below that resistance, price can easily be trapped in this area overall. The same that happened in the lower time frame from today, coming from that New York volume and breaking above that previous area of resistance. For example, this one right here. Like if I have, for example, all I have, this is my previous contention. If this candle is breaking up, all these candles right here, it's okay to pull back there. But if it's breaking below this area, it's going the opposite way. The same thing happened here at the 1900s. If price goes back to the 1900s, the moment price doesn't give you a break above these previous rejections or above this previous rejection, I don't have any business looking for buys anymore, unless price is giving me a break outside this area.
Okay, so you need to you need something to tell you that this is a healthy pullback, not a rejection. And so you would wait for that second candle to kind of close above 1903, 1902 to tell you, okay, we're continuing up.
Yes, exactly. But if it's closing, just because it's closing or is coming to the 1900, I won't be buying here. No. I will consider a massive pullback, obviously, as well. I will consider fake out. Who's the one that will tell me the story there? Will be depending how price behave in this range. Remember, when a pullback is presented, price needs obviously to close inside, go back, retest this area, come back, retest that area, and the moment price is leaving that area, is gonzo.
Okay, I get
but
it.
if it's coming to this area right here, coming to the upside and not giving me a healthy close outside this area, then I don't have any business planning for this move up.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
I'm still
this
holding
range
just
will
a
be...
small runner, but you know, in total honesty, I don't want to see price going and closing below that specific 1903.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah, that 1903 area is kind of the London high and the Asian high, so it makes sense too in that sense.
Yeah, and a structure has been presented in this specific area.
Man, I don't know. I never have the same London highs as you guys for some reason. I don't know. My London high is
maybe you're
1900.
using your broker, Fadi.
I'm using Owanda. Using Owanda, my London high is 19.
What time your 4-hour candles are open from on Owanda? 9-1.
Yeah, 915. Yeah.
So then, yeah, that's the same.
Yeah, I have the same, but my London high is 1900, not 1903, because London for me is like it's from 3 a.m. to 8
Yes,
a.m.
it is.
Eastern
It is.
time.
But that's the thing. I don't consider. That's where you're a little bit confused. I don't consider the like, for example, let's go back in time in here. The London volume, the 3 a.m. This is the 3 a.m. opening. This is your London volume, right?
Yep.
The 1897, 1898, let's say.
Yep.
Now, I don't consider that specific London. I consider the whole candle that is taking over from the 1 a.m., which is pre-London, to London session, which is, in this case, is this one right here. I don't look for 5 minutes, 15 minutes, hourly candles. No, the volume from London that I'm marking is pre-London. In some cases, you have, for example, pre-London doing something like this. Then London goes up at 3 a.m., whatever, and then come back and do something like this. Then is the perfect London session. But in some cases, you know, the 1 a.m. is somewhere here. It's opening here, comes pre-London. London opens, comes back to this area right here and create that low. Then I will be considering the opening or the highest point for that 4-hour candle pre-London session and the 5 a.m. in the morning, which is the closing for that specific 4-hour, my contentions areas. Anything that can trade below this area and give me a close on the 5 minutes, I will go for it. Anything that can close above this area and give me a 5 minute, I will go for it.
Okay, that's what I had. Okay, so so that high is also a part of the Asian session, basically.
Yes, it's not based on London session itself. It's based on the 4-hour candle. Remember, this candle right here on a daily basis, this candle is the one that you need to pay attention.
That's the rule now. Okay, perfect. I used to be based on the time of the session, not the 4-hour.
That's why, Fadi.
That's why.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, brother.
Hey, Fadi.
Yes.
Myself and Garad have posted the FX chart in the chat. I had the same issue. So this is a chart that I think Kerwin uses as well.
So, Tomer.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. Thank you. No, go ahead.
Thomas, what happened, man? You wanted to say something?
Can you pull up the 15?
Beautiful trade. Yes. Give me 1 second. The 15?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, I have also this. 1 sec. I have also this level, the yellow one, and when this candle closed below, I wanted for this one to pull back a little bit. I was aiming for it to, reject 902, and then when it flips, go up. But it never even created a wick down, so I lost on this is what, like roughly 60 pip, I guess.
Kind of, yeah. Almost
Roughly
70.
60
Yeah.
pips. So I was wondering, when should I wait for slightly a pullback, and when I should just go for it?
When there's no much volume in the market. If there's no volume, wait for pullback. If there's a lot of volume, you will find. Remember, with volume, all we need is a plain and simple continuation, like 5-minute candles, just opening with no bottom wicks because momentum is there. So if volume is there, you will notice if volume is there, is the size of the candles will tell the story. Like these candles right here tell the story. These candles right here tell the story. Now, with this specific thing, you don't have volume at all. It's pure garbage. It's pure garbage. But when there's volume in the market, like these candles right here, and if you want a counter trend, whatever, that's the candles that you want to see. Small, little, tiny pullback, nothing crazy in the 15 minutes.
I see.
Yeah.
I was kind of worried because, where is that? That 15 this week is like two 5-minute candles going bearish.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, maybe I'll wait for the third one to reject, and then once it flips or once it breaks this high, whatever.
Yeah, but when you have 2 5-minute candles like that, is resistance, confirmation of resistance. You sell
exactly
if the third candle break that low. Like for example, this one right here. If resistance, confirmation of resistance, you close your position if you're holding anything, or you plan sales if you have a confirmation from the higher time frame that this is the continuation, or then that this means just plain and simple pullback. Yeah,
I see.
The same thing that happened last night, basically, during Asian session. See, resistance, confirmation of resistance. These candles breaking that low, but all of a sudden, it is basically counter trending. But if it's going with the trend, will be easier. You will notice how when price is moving from a certain area, if it's a heavy bearish, I look for this specific move. For example, create some sort of a structure, create that kind of fake out, that idea that is a fake out. The moment that candle is creating that resistance and telling me this is my confirmation resistance, I will sell this thing because I know that is aligned with the continuation. Now I don't do the opposite. If this candle is giving me the support, confirmation support, if this candle break that high, I need to be really cautious because at that point the candle can go to this area and reject again.
I see. I understood you now.
See?
Yeah.
If you don't ask, there's no way I can help you. Like for example, this candle right here. I'm counter trending. Let's say this is my support, confirmation of support. If I start buying this candle, I'm just playing with fire.
I see.
This one as well.
But then again, with this, no, go back. Like selling here would be good.
Yes.
Not here. Wait. It doesn't let me.
Even
like here.
Yes. Yes, that's the area that I was about to tell you. Even this area is worth it to sell it, because if this is your support, you don't want to see that candle breaking that support. If it's breaking that support, since it's a higher time frame trend, you want to see an easy continuation. The 80 area right here, the 1880, is the kilo that's still holding in that area, leaving that 1800 is most likely going to the 1875.
Okay, I got you now.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Kerwin.
Hey, brother, how are you?
Gracias, Kevin. Thank you.
De nada, hermano, de nada.
I'm sorry I'm without a camera, but I don't know where it is.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay, man.
Kerwin,
Yeah, man.
today is like a refresher day. We're learning a lot because too many people are coming out of the shyness closet and asking a question.
I know.
That's the good things when we ask a question, we get an answer back from you.
Yes.
There's no way for you to find out what we have inside ourselves to ask you. So we have to come out and ask you. We can.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I can't.
It's okay. If it's your girlfriend, you better answer. If not, you'll be in problems. Trust me.
You know what? I was up this morning when it was morning for me, Asian opening, and I took it. I was trying to take 15 minutes and candle, but then I realized the volume was really high and wouldn't give me a chance to enter. So I was using a lower time frame, like a New York volume. It was really heavy, following FOMC. And
go ahead.
He's securing some, I think.
Me, no, I secure most of that.
So it was really good. I went all the way down. And
not sure, but your sound is
it's coming and going.
Yeah.
Just the line is really pretty bad. But anyway, what I was saying here is it was very educative today. Anyway, I really appreciate all our friends and the family. And they have to come out and ask questions so we can learn from each other.
Yes, sir. That's the way. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I encourage everybody to ask every day. If you don't ask, there's no way I can clear the air. There's no way I can help you. Because I check the Slack chat, general chat assistant, whatever. But for me, it will be pretty hard answering any questions, directly to one specific person. If you bring the question here, maybe we are in this group already like 200 people. Let's say we connect 120, 130, 150 on a daily basis. Maybe the same struggle you have, there's going to be 30 or 40 more members that have the same. Imagine if I have to answer all different questions, directly on the DMs, when you can easily ask in here. Don't be shy. Everybody's trying to learn. Everybody's trying to master his craft. So, let's be interactive, bring your questions. I don't care. I don't mind if you have as many questions as you want. I don't care. That's what you're paying. You're paying for a mentor. You're not paying for a person to give you signals and to give you, just the setups every day. No, you're paying for somebody that can teach you how the things work. But if you don't ask, there's no way I can help. And for me, it can be annoying sending DMs. Kadir, what is your struggle? Oh, Tomer, what's your struggle? Fadi, what's your struggle? Garrett, what is the main problem you're having in trading? No, bring those questions to me. Bring those ideas. I mean, if you have an idea, okay, Kerwin, have you paid attention how this session behave on a daily basis? If you have noticed a behavior that I haven't, and it's causing me losses on a daily basis, then bring that to my attention and let me know. Oh, look, Kerwin, those losses are because you're trying to buy maybe Asian session low. Or maybe Asian session on high, and I have noticed that Asian session high tends to move this and that. Those are specific things. But we can make it easier for each other if we all participate and we all bring questions. See, that previous rejection, why is coming from that specific rejection from the 1910? This is what we call the support resistant and possible rejections based on higher time frames from rejections. Right there. That's
right. Bro, if I quickly can add something, like please, nobody, don't get me wrong, but it's not a lot of people, but for me and Sultan, we get a lot of DMs, like people asking questions and something, and that's completely fine because a lot of people help me as well. I love to give something back, you know, if I can. But I think it would be good for everybody if we would put that questions into the general chat, and then other people, there are a lot of good traders here, can help those people answer the questions, and then people who face the same struggle, like in 2-3 months, new members can look up to that and see, okay, the guys already cleared that question, basically.
Yeah.
Kadir, but you don't respond to my DMs.
No,
well,
I agree.
The thing is, there are some DMs. There were some DMs I didn't answer, but to be honest, like I don't really check Slack a lot on the DM.
And there are only
DMs
two people who talk most, and you and Sultan. You guys just interact with each other. Like, it's time to actually help the others.
Yeah, man, that's the thing. That's why I say, you know, people should ask questions, because when I started, man, I almost abused Kerwin. You know, just asking questions all the time. You know, he was like, probably, who the fuck is this guy constantly asking questions? You know, but if I'm here to learn, I want to learn. You know, so I have to ask him because he's better than me. I want to learn from him, so I have to open my mouth and ask him. No,
yeah,
and I'm not a shy person. I'm an extrovert, so I don't even care about anybody what anybody thinks about me. You know, I just ask my question.
The best part is that
unless
unless you're profitable, you will not enjoy your trading. So the reason you will be profitable is only when you ask questions and clear your doubts. You know, I know many people don't understand structure. They don't understand price action. But unless until you come to the Slack and start speaking to people. And I'm sure there are many, I mean, like people like you, Mini, Kavin is already there. Zar is also there. There are many who can help you out in all these questions and doubts. And when you come to the session, then you understand the basic knowledge. And then it's easy to take it from there.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's nice to see more people comfortable, you know, talking and asking questions. But I think maybe some people are just they can't find a time to jump in for a question or something, and then somebody else asks a question, and they're like, I can't ask one now. So it's but just I think to the new people, don't be afraid, just cut them off. Just say, hey, I have an important question. Shut up, everyone.
Yeah. No, I agree. No.
Yeah, that's true.
And there is no dumb question. There is no dumb question. There is no stupid questions. You need to ask.
To be honest, bro, for example, in the beginning, I wanted to ask questions, and every time Sultan cut me off, you know, and at some point I said, bro, shut the fuck up. I want to ask a question now, you know. But then we were already like a little bit close with Sultan, you know. And but for introverts, I can guess it's pretty hard for them, probably.
Or maybe put in the chat, I have a question, then you know, we can give them the mic time, you know, just if they're afraid to interrupt like with their voice, then just say I have a question, and then Kerwin will give them the floor to ask.
Yeah. Something that I you know, I can plan as well. You know, I'm pretty busy, to be honest, with the family stuff. But something that I can plan is one of these days, or schedule like a specific session for like a Q&A, like a question and answer. Like bring your question, and that will be dedicated to that specific topic, not trading at all. At that point will be questions and answers, not because sometimes it's really hard answering questions when I'm paying attention to price action, the way it's behaving. So, you know, can be a little bit messy, if you want to call it somehow, answering it at the same time, paying attention to price action. But when we are not taking a specific trade, you know, I'm down to go for a quick talk and, you know, discuss ideas, whatever. So we can do that. Let me see what is, I mean, because for me, the problem, the main issue that I have is the time I have free, most of you guys are sleeping at that time. Most of you, because the time that I have really kind of easy to do that is to do that a specific session will be Asian session, maybe like 8 p.m. But you know, 8 p.m. is whatever, it's already 1-2 a.m. for you guys. So I'm not expecting everybody to be up for that specific topic, you know. But let me see if we can do that maybe a Saturday morning or maybe a Sunday morning. So let me answer this. Ismail, okay. This is your trade idea. Took an entry based on 5 minutes. I saw this idea and this is freaking amazing. Took an entry based on 5 minutes though. 30-minute created, okay, the structure. Close 70%, daily resistance, pay attention, like around 909, and strong rejection area. It's really nice. That's really nice trade, to be honest. It's really nice. I was thinking of adding another position here, but like I said, no, I was holding that specific position. I didn't want to mess around with that specific trade. Yeah.
Kerwin.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kerwin, for your feedback, by the way.
Oh, no problem, brother.
Cheers.
The 2 5-minute candle that just passed, they have no top wick, but they've been driving down. So I understand that. I learned from you. Basically, there's bearish pressure when there's no top wick and it just keeps driving down.
Yeah.
But how could we have entered sells like at
in this candle?
How can you have entered a sell here at any point? Like
at any point, if I wanted to enter sell, I'd be entering sells in here when I told you the 1 minute the 1 minute structure here. That 1 minute right there, that was a perfect entry. This one right here, the moment that candle is closing below that area, and then obviously you need to have a stop loss in this area right here. But it's counter trending at that point, so you need to be really careful because that move can be short lived to this area overall in 1903. You know.
Okay. So but, now would this be like a kind of a fake out? Where
but in this case, if you wanted to use the 5 minute candle confirmation, will be with this candle right here. If this was a valid support, the moment price is respecting the high and breaking that low, then you can easily have the entry to be safe, leaving that rejection right there, having something like this, aiming overall for this previous rejection. But you know,
so it's okay to enter with a candle that has no top wick. It's not like forbidden. It's not forbidden.
No problem. No problem.
I always thought that it was like, okay, it's a no-go. When you have no top wick, don't risk it because
no, you can do it. You know, it's even easier when you're entering with candles that doesn't have a top wick. When it's bearish and you have a previous 5 minute candle, let's look for a bearish momentum here to the left hand side. From a bearish momentum. When you have a bearish close like this and the next candle opens with no top wick, then the next candle is leaving a wick as long, pay attention to this because this is really important. As long this wick doesn't exceed more than the 50%, you're good to go. Like for example, that candle right there. If this candle is showing more than the 50% on a wick, it's becoming rejection like this candle right here. It's a no-brainer. This candle is something that you don't want to look for continuation. But in this candle is closing below that area. Momentum is there. The size of the candles are important in the market. Like this candle is consistently strong. This candle is strong as well. This candle is just trading at support. But therefore, every 5 minute candle will be leaving a wick to the downside and little to no top wick. How can you trade that? Wait until that 5 minute candle is closing, have your counter on the chart right there, really nice and easy. And the moment that candle is about to close, think of this. Okay, that candle is 21 pips in volume. So what if that candle reverse to the point of 10 pips, no more than 10? If it's giving me 10, then I will enter with something like this, maybe a 1-to-1, give it a try. At the opening, at the closing of that candle, if it's closing with a to the previous support is nearly this area right here, right? And a stop loss on top of the previous 5. Why? Because if you want to give it a try to that specific move, all you want to see is the opening of that 5 minute and do exactly the previous candle we're doing at that point. Not top wick, little top wick. Obviously, this is just figuring the stop loss. But at that point, for example, to have a decent stop loss, I will say something like this. So the candle doesn't reverse completely and retest the high of the candle before the continuation. Because if that candle is leaving a wick to the downside, makes sense to continue its move as long you don't have a new 30-minute candle. When there's a new 30-minute candle coming in play, then you need to be really careful. Like for example, this candle is the 30-minute candle. At that point, you need to be really careful because a new 30-minute candle can easily go and do a nasty pullback. But every day that you have momentum in the market, you look for those specific moves. Not top wick if it's going from a bearish move, bearish momentum. Not bottom wick if you're going from a bullish move.
Kerwin, I have a question. On the 5 minute, when you have that, what's that? 1905. At 1905, right? When that candle
NYSE.
A good entry, or would it be better to be more safer and enter at 1903 when it broke the support?
Where is that we're talking specifically? Because for some at some point I missed some of your
that 1903.16. Yeah, so would that have been a safer sell right there once it broke that support, or would that? Okay.
Yeah.
Because
at that point, you need a lot of volume, obviously, to start, digging inside below that resistance. It won't happen on a daily basis because in most cases, just breaking a previous area of support goes back to retest that previous resistance and bounce from there. This was just extra pips to the downside. Came back to retest the 1900. Now, this is what I was telling to Fadi. I don't want a retest to the 1900 because if it's retesting the 1900, that means price will stay in this specific area right here, not giving me a clean break outside this area. Like if New York NYSE, it will give you the continuation to retest the daily high. This high over here, you can consider the break of that candle as a possible continuation. But if that candle doesn't give you a break above that that previous 5 minute candle high, you don't have any business. I don't recommend anybody trading anymore because we have an easy job trading today. So now this area right here is becoming the range that I was telling to Fadi. Because if price is being trapped in this specific area of resistance, then we don't have any business planning more than we already had in this point. If price is leaving this specific area of support, then it's going the opposite way. All this area you can easily consider it as a fake out, and this was a previous rejection zone based on the higher time frames.
Morning, Kerwin.
Morning, brother.
Hey, just a quick question. So on this 5 minute right here, 925 closed bullish. This 930 is, starting to go bearish now. Would it be safe to say that this 5 minute may have potentially created a support after retesting the 1900 level?
No, not really, because these candles respecting the high and broke the low, and it's trading below resistance again.
Okay.
So now this is something that I don't want to consider as support. To consider that candle as a support candle, I would love to have this candle, the current one, just pulling back to the low of the candle and rejecting really hard and breaking the high. But if this candle is respecting the high and breaking the low, this is the scenario that I told Fadi. If it's going back to the 1900 and prices start closing below this resistance and this resistance start acting as a resistance, I have no doubt that this was the highest point that we reached for the daily, and we may not be able to see this high anymore. But for the monthly, pay attention, for the monthly, not even the weekly, but for the monthly. Why? Because this area right here is becoming rejection again from a higher area of rejection. Price can easily go back, close below the 1900, start ranging in here. NFP going back to retest the 1903, 1904, but failing to go to the 1910. And from here, remember, this was a bonus. This was a beautiful move to the upside, a beautiful rally, the rally that we've been waiting for that monthly candle and the weekly candle right here. This is your monthly candle. It doesn't mean this monthly candle will manage. Remember what I was talking yesterday about. Let me remove these lines here. If price is not giving me a break above that area right there, I don't have a long-term bias on gold for the monthly. This, it's okay to have a pullback 1910, 1900s, 1915, all these areas right here. But if price is giving me that rejection where I had previous rejections on 4 hours, you know, I know that at any given point, 4-hour candles can give me rejections from there and daily candles as well. You know, so this we need every day. We need to be really careful the way we trade. We know what is the push that we may have. We know what is the maximum areas of rejection, and we know the maximum areas of support in some cases. And in my opinion, the maximum area of support that we have here is this one right here. But if price is breaking below this area, I'll be surprised if price is going all the way down again. So that can be, you know, a plain and simple rejection for the higher time frame, and price will stay trapped below these specific areas from now on. That is this specific area right here. And is going the opposite way. And retail trader will be surprised. See that move right there?
Price moved like almost 500 pips from yesterday. So, you know, we need a healthier pullback maybe.
Yeah.
There goes
or it
your
may go
NYC
bearish
setup.
too. So
Many pips.
Yeah, I'm securing.
Was an easy one, bro.
It was an easy one.
Anyone who watched the video Sultan sent in the Slack, that was the NYC setup again.
Fadi still here?
No more sim sessions.
Fadi, you're here? Are you here?
Fadi left. I think he said he had a work meeting.
Oh, okay.
Kerwin,
Because I would love to have Fadi right now with me, talking about this specific area when price is going back to retest the 1900 and price being trapped in that specific resistance. See why it's important. And you'll be surprised, price may not make it to this area again, unless price is later taking a breather outside this area. Then yeah, but if it's not, man, it can go all the way down again.
Going to the 1904 was basically the retest of the fake out at this point.
Yeah. Okay, Hussein had a question here. I want to ask what time frame we should look for London session, as I'm pretty new to trade gold. If London session is the only one you trade, or you mainly trade that session, I will say 15 minutes. And pay attention how price behave at the support created for the low of the day or ASIN session low and the ASIN session high.
Man, Kerwin. The funny thing is, man, I was looking for sales and I got my sales, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Good.
Because I didn't trust this move up, to be honest. I mean, it was a big move, but because of my shoulder, bro, I'm not a hyper scalper anymore. I can't enter quick, and I missed that entry on that 5 closing above 1900. And then I basically just waited, you know, for opportunity to look for sales.
Kerwin, Caddy's patience is getting better and better by the day.
Yeah, man. Normally, bro, I would have, you know, my plan was here to enter on this one. I even had a buy limit here just for the news, but I thought about entering on the break here. But when I moved like to my terminal, because I'm slow now, price was already here, you know. And then I was like, okay, if it goes, it goes, you know. Yeah. But normally I would have FOMO'd immediately, I think, like a couple months ago.
Kerwin, there's a question in chat for you by Jason.
Jason, yeah. Kerwin, I have a question. I have been break even for past 4 months. Sometimes I'm over trading, but I'm not over leveraging. I'm struggling with holding trades and managing losses. Sometimes can't talk. Okay. So the main question that I have for you, the losses you're taking is because you're counter trending a daily candle. Have you journaled your trades? Like, have you noticed if it's because you're counter trending a previous daily candle that is maybe you're looking for buys when a previous daily candle is bearish? Or is because you're taking positions early in the session with no volume at all, and then you get into the point that trading in small areas of range when the, you know, when the range, it doesn't make sense at all for you to consider those specific moves. There's an easy way to trade gold on a daily basis. New York session is the best, and 8:30 to 9 is the best. 9:30 to 10 a.m. is as well prime time to trade gold. So I would suggest you to journal your trades and tell me or give me the answer. What trades are you taking that are having you a break even at this point? Why they're taking you in this struggle of being a break even when we already know how gold behaves during New York, and we always getting the easiest moves. You know, I'm not looking for moves pre-NY. I'm not looking for moves during London. I'm looking NY session. And if it's 8:30 to 9 a.m., the easiest moves. The 9:30 to 9:45, the easiest moves. The 10 a.m. candle, when you have a confirmation on from a 9 to 10 as a strong candle on the hourly, the easiest move. So let me know what is the main time that you're having those losses. If those losses are happening because it's no volume at that point. Okay, no, most of the times I'm getting strong in the range. That are most losses coming through. I only trade NYSE, NY to NYSE every day. Okay, so you're trading in a range. Again, the range you're trading, because there's specific scenarios in here. This is not a good example from yesterday, not even from previous data. This area, this is the 18. Where is the previous range in here for New York session? For okay, this area right here. Let backtest. This is the New York session right here. Let backtest this. This is the first structure right here. This first structure, second structure. Price is moving inside the range. This is the areas that I don't want you to consider long term when you're counter trending. Look, the move is bullish. It's a no-brainer. Everything you see here is bullish, bullish, bullish move. Now, in this specific scenario, if you're planning for sales, can be dangerous. If you're planning for buys, until price doesn't leave this specific area, this can be your contention area, all this area right here. Why? Because in this area, you had a fake out here. At that point, I don't know if to the left-hand side, we have heavy rejections from there. Well, a certain area of contention there. So that can give you some sort of troubles taking that continuation of that move. And this is just plain and simple range for New York session. Sometimes New York session is tricky based the fact that we are trying to counter trend a daily candle, and the lower time frames are giving you confirmations to counter trend those specific moves. But if at any given point, I will say for now, Jay, for now, I will tell you just to eliminate that specific break-even issue. I will say 1 second here. I will say only trade if you have a daily candle. You don't trade the pullback. Look for the pullback and trade the continuation of a daily candle. Maybe New York session, you're trading let's say the previous daily. It's like this, and maybe New York session is trading at this specific location, and all the pullback already done, and you're trading in this area right here. Unless you have lower time frames leaving that daily low, then don't take any positions inside this area, because at any given point that daily can easily start respecting the low and doing something like this, and you may be feeding the market at that point, you know, and you just don't notice how the previous daily candles are looking. In some cases, and this is my opinion, right? In some cases, if you have something that is like this in a bullish market, it's one scenario. That means anything can happen. Range may happen as well. A candle on the daily that may look like this. But if you have a candle that is looking like this, don't ever look for sells. Even if you're trading in this specific area, you rather sell the break of that daily low than looking for sells in this area. All you need is looking for buys. Even if you have to use a stop loss of 60 pips, below that daily, because the worst thing that can happen is that daily going back to retest that daily and fail to break that daily. But you can buy like a Tommy here, start buying like an Ironman thing, buying the dips and look for that specific move, because you know it will be a higher probability trade looking for buys when a previous daily candle closed with liquidity than looking for sells. And like I said, in some cases, you will find that trading inside a range can be depressing in many cases. Like for example, if price is moving to this area right here, what time it is? 10 a.m. already, so it's not even worth it. But if price is going back to this area and giving me rejections, I rather sell this area, having a stop loss here to retest the bottom of the range. But looking for a specific move. The previous daily was maybe a bullish candle. You don't have maybe a confirmation. You may don't have a confirmation in these specific areas to sell, but you will have confirmations when this low was retested and price is not respecting that low anymore. So for me, will be safer waiting until price action gives me a better confirmation below these candles right here. If I don't have the ability, if I don't have the courage to sell from these specific areas and having a stop loss outside this area, then I will need to sit on my hands and wait until price retest this area and start planning myself. If I have confirmations in the middle of this range, like having a bullish candle somewhere here, then I can easily use that 5-minute candle confirmation as my support. And if that support is not being respected, then I know that I will have an easier trade than trying to guess in this area right here early in the morning, trying to counter trend something that was very bullish and looking for bearish moves. No, I'll be looking, if every day I come to the charts, I see how the previous daily candle closed, I see how the 4-hour candle from London closed, and I plan my trades. I say, well, what if the candle doesn't respect the 4-hour candle resistance? So I know that at that point I will have more chances trading the resistance, this candle, leaving that resistance at that point, aiming for a possible target, maybe a previous daily high, maybe a key level. There's a lot of things we can consider, but the moment price is leaving that area, you're expecting that at the break of the daily high, you have an easy extra 20 pips in volume. Like for example, this candle right here. The moment price is breaking that previous daily, you have its own daily high. Basically, you have like 20 pips. Really easy moves at the break of the high on a daily basis. I would say look for 20 pips. That can be the easiest setups you may want to try, but you need price leaving that daily high. If that doesn't happen, then don't do it. Sometimes, like, I have to risk it for the biscuit because I'm looking for the bigger picture, and I know that entering in this area for me is worth the shot to retest that daily high or to retest the resistance of the 4-hour. And if the previous daily candle was a massive bullish candle, I know that this volume has to continue. It doesn't need, I don't need to counter trend something that is looking heavy bullish. That's all. But pay attention, pay attention on a daily basis. If the trade that you're taking, you're taking losses because you're buying the resistance, because this is the other case scenario. I'm not sure if this is happening as well. You have a previous bullish candle, beautiful candle coming from a previous day, right? And then you find yourself trading in this specific range right here, maybe buying the resistance. And maybe that resistance is near to a previous daily resistance, like the one from today, like this one, for example, like the one from today. And if you don't have momentum, which is these candles right here, you're not doing anything at that point. You're just feeding the market. If it's not giving you momentum, then you will have small little tiny candles right there with no pressure at all, just trying to retest. And buying these specific candles is the worst thing you can do for a continuation of that previous daily candle. Now, if you're having a beautiful candle closing outside that resistance with that, mind your business, buy the break of that candle. If the retest is done, it's plain and simple a 90% probability trade. If the retest is done and that candle is grabbing liquidity and trying to break this high, go for it, because that candle will take you in no time for 20 pips in volume. 20 pips, really easy, that you can easily risk it for the biscuit. With 20 pips at the low of that candle right there, or maybe the low that this candle created before, and you can easily have in profits in all time. These 20 pips are the easiest one when you're following a previous monster candle, a daily candle, the same that happened during Asian session. When a heavy candle is closing, it's creating something like this, and then it creates a support. Price can retest that support or break that support, but at the moment price close above that support, go for it, because at least will retest the daily high. And from there, if volume is okay, you will have a spare change at least during Asian session, at least 10 pips above that daily. So buying from here to retest that daily may be 20, and then you add that 20 to 10. Even if you close 50% in this specific area, you still ride in the wave with 10 pips to make it a whole move of 20 pip overall from this area to the top of that daily, that the daily candle may create it. Hope that helps a little bit. Yeah, man.
Yeah, nice, bro. But I just wanted to say, bro, maybe you can upload that video of Sultan to the G Drive, bro, because that's a really good gem.
What
Sultan
video?
dropped that day. I uploaded on the in the general chat again. That NYC setup, and he also talks, I think, about the London 4-hour.
Okay, I did upload the scene sessions you guys did. So I'm not sure if that's the one that you're talking about.
No. You recorded that, bro. That was during
the small
after
little,
that NY
yeah, the
session.
small little tiny clip. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but that's a jam, bro. I mean, that can change a lot of things for a lot of people, I think.
Kerwin.
Yeah.
Do me a favor, please. Have a look at the first trade that I took and see if you would have done anything else different. I've been on some streak. Let me send it to you 1 minute.
Where?
Guys, take care. I'm off. Catch you tomorrow.
Okay, brother.
Take care,
bro.
Take care, bro.
Nice to see you, man. Take care.
Take care, Kevin.
All right, brother. Have fun. I'm almost leaving as well. Dennis, where is your trade?
I'll send it to you as well. Just first trade in the description. I just want to see if you would have done anything differently. Man, I've been having a bad week, but I'm not letting it get to me, because I know I can come ahead, no problem. But
what's your first trade?
Go into the description, and it shows you the first trade, 3 or 4.
Go on full screen, bro. Kevin. Go onto the full screen, bro.
And this is pretty
don't mind.
badass. So you gotta teach us how to do this.
What's that?
So this is pretty badass. I don't know enough about YouTube, but you gotta teach us how to do this.
Yeah, I do it to channel, man, mostly. So this one, the way I got in on the break of the 1 minute, on top of this. On top of these candles. So then the 1 minute candle closed now, and the second 1 minute broke the high, and now it's doing the pullback. I managed my trade, so I closed like half of my positions. I closed half, then another half. Second entry's worked out, but this one I'm not sure what I would have done differently. Because I thought I would have got the push with the NY open as well, but
the stop loss was pretty tight.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
20 pips?
It was 20? Isn't that like 1899, 1890 something here?
20 pips.
Yeah, I
Did
think
you
it
pay
exactly
attention what
tapped
you
the stop.
had? Yeah, that trade is about to stop your. I mean, did you? The thing is,
not sure if you paid attention to these specific rejections. If I had to have that stop loss, I'd rather risk it a little bit more with the stop loss below those previous rejections right there. Just to give it a try to breathe a little bit more.
Yeah, it would have worked out if I put my stop a bit wider, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because it hit my stop and then it pushed up. The second entries I got.
Yeah, always pay attention to the max pullback you may have. In my opinion, max pullback was these previous areas of rejection. Right there. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, man.
That actually makes sense. I didn't spot that area, to be fair.
I talked about that in the streaming.
Yeah,
that I'd rather
listening.
have a stop loss just slightly below that area to give it a little bit of room to breathe instead of choking that trade, because I know that trade can pay.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a hell of a risky trade, I'll be cutting losses, you know, like the previous days that I've been cutting losses with 4 pips, with 6 pips. Yeah.
Makes sense, makes sense. Second entry worked out, but the second entry put me at break even.
Oh.
Second entry.
Second entry. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. At this point, yeah, this entry is clever. Even these stop losses, you can even have the stop loss a little bit lower than that. And this is why I say, you know, have a decent stop loss, because at that point you're putting more risk on the table. Instead of risking another 20 here, I'd rather risk it with 20 more in this area right here than risking another 20 in this next trade. But it makes sense. I mean, this trade, it has better confirmation at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that candle's just simple, beautiful candle. So that came out at break even.
Yeah, break even day today.
Oh.
I've got a lot of entries, like double entry. That's what it looks like. I took a lot of trades, but I only had like 3 trades.
Okay.
Hey, Kevin, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Yeah. Okay. So one entry I took on 1900 on the rejection of 1 minute. It got rejected many times on 1900. I closed my half position on around 1895 key level because it got rejected once or twice and moved up. I break there. Now the price is around, the price again got rejected on around 1895 on 1 minute time frame. I took another sell with the stop loss of 1896.5 above the structure and above the key level and above the previous 5-minute high.
So the 1 minute, let me pull the 1 minute. Where was your entry here?
The other entry was on 1894.3. The second entry.
The second entry.
Yeah.
Okay, and your target overall?
Yeah, that's what I'm confused with. Maybe I am expecting 1891.
1891.
Yeah.
Somewhere here. It's valid. At this point,
It is
something
valid?
that you need to pay attention in the lower time frames is how price will respect this area overall. That area, these previous areas of rejections. If price is going down, doesn't need to give you a clean breakup of this area if you are planning to hold that position. All it needs is coming back, retest this area, this support candle right here not being respected, and having this candle as a support. It's an hourly candle. It's an hourly candle closing right now. So there's a huge chance for a new hourly candle to pull back a little bit higher than just this plain and simple resistance. You know, but in simple terms, if this is a valid support, The candle, this one right here, will need to respect this high and break this low and give you that continuation. But other than that, it's looking like the max pullback is being completed to this area right here. And from now on, we may start ranging in this area right here. But this is why, you know, sadly, Fadi left early. But this is why the conversation with Fadi, having this specific move to the 1900 and price being trapped in this area, makes a lot of sense for a whole correction. And the previous 4-hour candle low, which is the bearish candle, is this one right here. So if it's not respecting this candle right here, it has a free fall all the way down again toward this area right here. I won't be surprised if NFP is trading at this level tomorrow.
What would be the safest stop loss in your?
For this specific trade that you're still holding?
Yeah, 18941. 1894.
94. Oh, 94?
Below the key level, yeah. Another entry to it.
Oh, you took another. That's a late entry though. For that entry, I'll say the safest will be this one right here.
98.
Yeah, 98 basically. But see, it's just because the new hourly candle just opened right now, the 10 a.m. candle. And that 10 a.m. candle can give you retest to this area, come back, retest this area, and start ranging again. Ranging.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah. Be
It
really
91
careful
is a
taking
safer...
positions at the very beginning of the hourly if you're counter trending. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Kevin, bro, I'm gonna head out. Thanks for the session, bro.
No problem, man.
Take care, everyone.
Let me stop recording. This session was recorded. So yeah.